Assalamu alaikum, Brother Unib. Are we live?
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, sister, you may please proceed, inshallah.
All right. Bismillah. Bismillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidni ilma. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, I hope you're doing well, inshallah. Welcome to this session on planning an effective study routine. And inshallah, in tonight's session, we will explore some time management techniques that can help you, inshallah, navigate the upcoming semester with ease. So without further ado, inshallah, let's begin. Bismillah. So the very first reminder that I would like to start off this presentation with is time management looks different for everyone every single day. And now that we're navigating and inshallah beginning a new semester, think of this as a new opportunity to inshallah begin. And inshallah, as you're starting this new semester, consistently remind yourself that it is going to be a difficult journey. It is going to have some obstacles, but inshallah, it is something that you can navigate by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with ease and grace. And a reminder to myself first, and for everyone else, small consistent habits is what we should be aiming for in this semester. And it's always the small consistent habits that actually lead to big transformations and results. As the Prophet ﷺ said in a hadith, that the most beloved deeds to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are deeds that are small but consistent. Right? So this is a reminder that your productivity will look different every single day, inshallah. Moving on to how do we manage our time in this semester? Excuse me. So a couple of tips, inshallah, for you to manage your time effectively in the upcoming semester. First things first, inshallah, take a moment to reflect and renew your intentions, as we're now also drawing closer to the month of Ramadan. And for some of us, it may be Ramadan tonight, tomorrow, depending on which part of the world you're in. This is a good time to really step back and think about what is it that you're ultimately striving to achieve through your studies. How will studying at IOU benefit you in terms of your psychological, your spiritual, and your developmental well-being? And also ask yourself, are you ready to invest your energy, focus, and time for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this noble path of seeking knowledge? And trust me, brothers and sisters, as the Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّةِ, actions are judged upon by intentions. So if you take a moment to renew, reflect, and refresh your intentions, that makes a huge difference to the amount of effort and time you put behind your studies, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to continue renewing our intentions and continue making the most out of these blessed days, inshallah. Next is take a moment to assess yourself. Where are you right now in terms of your academic growth? Identify what your struggles, what your pain points are versus what your strengths are. So for some of us, maybe we struggle with certain aspects of procrastination. Like, for example, maybe we struggle with starting off a task. Some of us struggle maybe with retaining our attention, or some of us struggle with, let's say, getting things done. So identify what your pain point truly is. And that way, inshallah, once you know what the problem is, once you know what your pain points are, you can customize different study techniques that work for you, because not every technique is going to work for every single one of us. And that is because one size doesn't fit all when it comes to time management. So ensure that you know what your pain points are so that you can, inshallah, treat it accordingly with the right medicine, inshallah. The next tip I have for you is focus on studying smartly versus studying harder. A lot of times, students begin the new semester with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of zest to be able to study harder. But what eventually happens is, subhanAllah, you end up losing momentum, you end up losing your energy and focus, and it's so hard to continue sticking through a task. So ensure that you prioritize your tasks based on this Eisenhower matrix that you can see on my right side of the screen. So this table essentially gives you a perspective in terms of what should you prioritize and when should you prioritize a task. So look out for things, for example, if something is urgent and important, then that means you need to get it done as soon as possible. If something is not really urgent, but it's still important, you can plan it in a way to do it later, right? And then if something is not important, but it's urgent, then you know you can delegate that maybe to someone. And if something is not urgent, sorry, and not even important, then you simply drop it. So an example of this could be, for instance, let's say something urgent and important would be you need to enroll for the upcoming semester, right? So, which means that you have to probably get this done as soon as possible. Something that may not be bound by time, which is not really urgent, but it still is important, would be, let's say, you need to meal prep for Ramadan, so you can plan it accordingly, right? And then something that's not maybe important, but it still is urgent. Let's say you need to get your groceries for Ramadan. That is something that you could probably delegate or ask someone in your family or friends to help you with. And for something that is not important, not urgent, such as doom scrolling, you can simply cut it down and start minimizing that. So inshallah, try to plan your tasks using this chart, and it really helps you, inshallah, give a perspective on how to plan about your day. Moving on to the next technique, that is systematic planning. So make sure that you plan how many modules are you going to, inshallah, aim to complete every single day. Because now that we're also going to be studying in Ramadan, right, more for about a month, it's important that you know when you're going to dedicate time for studies. And for a lot of us, we will be attending iftars, we might be cooking for people around us, we might be going for taraweehs. So it's going to be naturally harder than any other month. So ensure that you plan your studies in a way where you're inshallah able to maximize your energy, your focus, and time to be able to dedicate that time only for studies, inshallah. So if you're taking 1 to 3 courses this semester, try to complete one module every single day, except a day off. If you're taking 4 to 6, make sure you complete 2 modules every day. And if you're taking 7 to 8 courses, then aim to complete 3 modules every day, inshallah. Next, a tip that I have for you, brothers and sisters, is habit stacking. So basically pairing up your study habit with a current habit that you do. So if you're someone who's struggling with, starting off a task, let's say you're struggling to begin watching your modules, then this is a perfect tip that can work for you, inshallah. So try to pair your study time with something that you always do. So let's say you can pair your study time after Fajr, because every single day you wake up for Fajr, and you probably start your day early, right? So pairing your study habit with a habit that you do almost every single day. This really helps you get into a routine, and doesn't take too much of your time, doesn't take too much of your energy to be able to start a task. So find cues among your daily habits that you do rigorously. Now, some of these cues, for example, could be, let's say, after suhoor in Ramadan, or maybe after Ramadan, it would be, sometime after your breakfast, or maybe center your study time around your 5 daily prayers, um, and things like that, inshallah. So find cues in your everyday life to be able to do that. Next is a reminder to, inshallah, practice good study habits. And some of these habits include starting off with easy modules first. So in Ramadan, naturally, because we are centering a lot of our time towards other acts of worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is natural to struggle to complete your modules on time. So ensure that you start off with easy courses first, and then maybe once Ramadan ends, sorry, once Ramadan ends, you can then proceed to complete the harder courses, inshallah. But begin with easy ones so that you're able to increase your motivation and momentum and get and conquer basically the difficult ones, inshallah. And also ensure, brothers and sisters, that you're studying collaboratively. Make sure you're connecting with your peers because it gets easier to work with people. And finally, also ensure that you're dedicating at least 10 minutes every single day to be able to revise what you've learned. So, a lot of times students ask me, how do I remember? How do I retain all this information? And the answer is very, very simple and very, very generic. And that is make time for revision, inshallah. Finally, brothers and sisters, if you're struggling, and I know because Ramadan can be an emotionally difficult and psychologically difficult month for some of us as well, right? And if you're still struggling, need help, please consider reaching out to me and seeking support. You can, inshallah, avail one on one student counseling sessions with me, and we can, inshallah, help you figure out what you're struggling with and help you, inshallah, navigate this semester effectively. And we can also help you devise a study plan that works perfectly for you this Ramadan, inshallah. And always remember that your well being is an absolute priority. Ensure you take care of yourself enough. Ensure you're filling your own cup first before you pour, inshallah. So with that, Jazakumullahu khairan kathira, brothers and sisters, for tuning in. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this Ramadan beneficial for all of us, to allow us to reach this month with ikhlas, ihsan, and to inshallah worship Him in the best of forms. Jazakumullahu khairan kathira. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.